So in our Power BI series, our next DAX function is all and all except functions. Okay. So from the name you can see we are either selecting all of them or all except something. So in DAX, it can be used in Power BI, Excel, Pivot, anything. All and all except are functions that are used for manipulating the context of calculations, particularly in measures and calculated columns. Okay, so where it will be used if we are creating a measure like this. For example, we are creating a measure, or if we are calculating any calculated column, for example, is sales high or something like that. Okay, so this is what it is going to be. So what we are doing here is these functions are primarily used to remove or modify filters in DAX expressions. Okay, like we have applied some kind of filter. For example, let's say here the segment is enterprise, and now it is showing us sales for that particular segment. If I clear this, it will start showing us sales for all segments. But suppose I want, so here we can see a filter is applied here. Okay, so here this filter is applied here, but if we want to remove the filter and see some value, so the main purpose of all and all except is to remove and modify filters in DAX expressions. First we will learn what is all function. The all function is used to remove filters from one or more columns or tables, and it essentially resets the filter on a specified column, making calculations ignore the current filter context for those columns or tables. For example, let's say we have a simple page here, okay, and in this simple page we have a card. So this is a card, and this card is showing us sales, that overall sales is 118 million. Have we applied any filter here? Right now no filter is applied. If we add a filter here, okay, like if we add a slicer here, so after adding a slicer, suppose we select segment as the filter. If I select channel partner, so it will start showing us sales of channel partner, enterprise, government, etc., etc. So basically filter context is applied here. Okay, now what is all saying? All is used to remove filter from one or more columns or tables, and it essentially resets the filter on a specified. Here you write all table or column. Table or column name is the name of table or column with which you want to remove the filter, and this can be a single column, multiple column, or an entire table. Okay, and calculation will be, so remove filter from single column. Let's say we want to remove filter from a single column region. So if we want to create total sales, okay, so what is this saying? This measure calculates the total sales amount, ignoring any filters applied to the sales region column. Okay, so if you want to calculate total sales by ignoring any filter, for example, we have segment, let's let's keep segment, or let's take region here. Okay, so we can take region here, or in this case, because we don't have region, so we will go with segment. Okay, so I will just replace region with segment. So here we are going to modeling tab, creating a new measure, and here we are calculating total sales is equal to sum of, and here our table name is financials. Okay, and first we have to create it in the correct table. So we will create new measure in financials table. Okay, so we are going to calculate. Now what is purpose of calculate? In calculate function, you write your first expression, and as the name suggests, we have already studied calculate function also. It calculates something. In calculate function, you write some expression here. So let's say financial sales. What we are calculating? We are calculating sales value. All sales regions, so all financials, and here we will select segment. So we will select segment. So total sales, it is calculating total sales for all financial segments. Okay. So when you will create this, this will also, so we can say total sales all segments. We can write the name like this, total sales all segments. It will create this for us. When I will click here and create its copy, we can put this. Okay. And here we have two values, right? This one is showing us total sales directly. If I am selecting a segment, this one is showing us this, right? Segment wise, but this is not changing. Now if I create another copy of it, and if I apply any other filter here, for example country, so if I select country, then it is changing. Okay. If I am selecting country, then it is changing. But when I am selecting some segment, then it is not changing. So now you see the usage. So that is the usage of all function. What does all means? All function is used to remove filters from one or more columns or tables. So remove filters from one or more columns or tables. So now what we have done is we have two sales values here. Okay, forget about the filters. We have two sales values here. This is 118 million, this is 118 million. This is, if you will sum all the rows, what is total sales value? This is also the same. Now if I apply segment filter, so what is this showing? This is showing channel partners sales. If I select this, what is this showing? Enterprise sales. But this is still showing us all sales. Okay, this is still showing us all sales. So this is the use of all. So how have we calculated this? We created a measure. So you will calculate sum of financial sales. Why we have written sum of financial sales? Because this is going to calculate total sales value, and we have now written a filter as all financial segment. So this all function will remove any filter that is applied to the financial segment column. Okay, so now if I select any segment column, it will not change, but we have only applied it to, so we have only applied to all financial segment only. We have not applied it to country. So when you will select country, it will show you the filter. Okay, it will show you the filtered value and it will be same. But if you will select any segment, then it will not reflect. So now this one is showing France sales for a small business. This one is showing France sales. Is it clear to you guys? You have any questions? It is clear, na? So you have removed
Yes.
filter. Mohan, the purpose is to exclude something. That is the main purpose. Okay. Like here we want to show sales. Okay. Excluding segment. Just you can say exclude segment filter and show sales. But if you apply country wise filter, it will show you. And the function is this. And how calculate function works. So like let's see some usage of calculate function also, then we will come back to this and it will be more clear. Okay, How calculate function works? Let's see some usage of calculate function. And calculate function is the most important function, that like one of the most important function. So let's say we have different countries. Okay, if someone asks you what is total sales value of France, right? It may be a question, what is total sales value of France? One way to tell that is you will write or you will create a card here. In the card you will drag sales here, and then you will create a filter here, not here. You will create a filter here. In that filter you will drag your country name and select France and tell, okay, 24.35 million is the sales of France. But if that person asks you now use this value in some other calculation. So when we have to use the value in some other calculation, then we have to store it somewhere. Right now it is just showing it as a visual. Right now this value is not stored somewhere. So what if we write a simple DAX query to find out sales of France? So we go to modeling tab, we create a new measure because that value is a single value, and we say France sales. Okay, France sales, and then we write, what will we write? Calculate, because we have to calculate what will be the expression here. What will be the expression? You can see in calculate function, first parameter is expression. So if we have to calculate total sales of France, what will be the expression? Any idea? Like, expression is an aggregate function, right? हाँ, total sales के लिए what will be the expression? Sum, ना? Simple. Expression means right, sum, minimum, maximum, like some kind of expression, DAX expression. So sum, now sum what? Sum sales, right? Close bracket. So we have calculated sum of financial sales, but is it for France? So next expression is filter. What is our filter? Filter is that financials country equal to France, right? Let's see. So it is creating some, or it has created some measure for us. And if I go here and say France sales, France sales, हमेशा ये इधर ही क्यों बन जाता भाई? Actually that that table is given on top, so that's why whenever we are creating a measure it is already creating there. So let's create new measure. Yeah, so this is Francis. Now it will be here, and if you will drag it, so it is showing 24.35. If you select it, 24.35. Now no matter what you do, this is always going to be a fixed value. Do you get this or not? So when we are doing calculations, there are something like a fixed value. So do you think this is going to be a fixed value? Yes or no? It's like a fixed value, na? In this case right now. Like France sales. So calculate sum of sales. This is your expression. Okay. Then second is your filter. That financial country is equal to France. In your calculate function, the first parameter is your expression. Like what do you want to do, right? If I ask you what is average sales of Germany, so you would have written average here, right? Average function. If I would have asked you what is the minimum sales in France, You would have written minimum here, right? So this is your expression. Second is your filter. Okay, this is your filter. Like you have the entire data, but you are filtering the data where country name is France. So these are the three parameters. Okay, two parameters, and you write it like that. So you will write it like this. So you are just writing calculate sum of financial sales. Financials country is equal to France, and financials is the table name, sales is the column. This is just like a variable, right? This is just like a variable. And financials country is equal to France. Is it clear or not? Any confusion? So let's discuss. Right, Mohan, what about you? Fine, na? So in the same way as we have done this, now you know that in a calculate function, second parameter is a filter. Okay. So when we studied this, here we created a total sales value. Okay. Now this total sales value was also created using the same concept. Calculate sum of sales for all financial segments. Okay. So what does this all function do? Like here we are not writing the filter like a regular filter. Like in a regular filter, you will say that this particular thing equal to something. This is the filter. Here we are saying all financial segment. All financial segment. So that means we are saying that if segment is applied as a filter, I am not going to accept that. Like you can see, when segment is applied, the total sales, the sum of sales is changing, but this is not changing. This is fixed now. Okay. So what is it doing? With the help of all function, it is ignoring what? That column filter that is written here. And what column filter is written as segment. So if you will create any filter with segment column, okay, so it is going to ignore that, and country it will accept. You can see it is accepting country filter, but it is not accepting segment filter. So this is to exclude a particular column as a filter when it is given in context. Okay, this will exclude that. Let's say we are going to create a table here. Okay, so let's create a table view. So this is a table view, a table visual, and in the table visual you know that we can add some columns. Okay, so let's say I have added order date as a or order ID as a column. Okay, so it is showing count of order ID. Doesn't matter. We have added product name as a column, so now it is giving us that. And now I am selecting total sales, all segments, and if I select total sales, so you can see at this moment they are all equal. Okay, but if I apply segment filter, so you can see sum of sales is different and all segment is different. In the context, we have product, we have sum of sales, but if segment filter is applied, this one is changing. Let me increase the value. So we can go to value here and let's increase. I have selected a wrong visual. So we have to select this and then increase that. Yeah. So now you can see when segment is selected, this one is changing, but this one is fixed. So total sales for all product will be there, but it is kind of excluding segment. It is excluding any segment based filter. Is it clear to you guys? So let's forget about all filters here. When no filter is applied, this is also showing sum of sales by product. This is also showing sum of sales by product. Is it okay? This is also showing 118 million. This is also showing 118 million. Is it correct or? When we apply a country filter, both of them are showing same values. Do you agree? Right? But when we apply a segment filter, this one is not changing. This one is changing. Okay? So that is the purpose of all function. Okay? All function can selectively ignore a filter. You get my point? How to write it, that is a different thing. All function can selectively ignore a filter applied on a single column or table or somewhere. So let's talk about single column. So do you think our function is selectively ignoring any segment filter, right? Let's add more filters. Like let's add product as a filter. Okay. So we have product as a filter. Even if I select Montana, same value, Paseo, same value. But in Paseo, if I select enterprise, then this one will change, this one will not, right? So it is accepting everything else, but it is ignoring segment filter. Do you agree? Let's select. Yes. Excludes that. It excludes that. Like this one is including that, right? This is the regular one, right? This is the regular measure that we have created, right? Sum of sales. This is the regular measure. This is including that. Like its nature is to include everything, right? So I think country is already there. So its nature is to include everything, but and that's the default nature of Power BI. But suppose we still want to show something excluding that, right? And right, all function. And how will you write it? We will write calculate and your expression, what you want to do, and then all segment. Let's say we create another measure. Yes, segment is the column name. So if I create another measure, total sales all country. Okay, let's say total sales all country, and this time I select country as a that particular column that I want to ignore. So now we have another measure, total sales all country. Let's remove any filter. So this is total sales all country. So let's do it here. Right. So now you can see all of them are showing the same value. Why? Because currently we have not applied any filter. We can also add it to this table also, like total sales all country. This way our table visual will have more filter, like more columns. Now if I select country, you can see two of them will change, one will not, right? If I select segment, two of them will change, one will not, because this ignores segments and this ignores country. If I select both, you can see, so on the basis of their respective values they are ignoring their respective columns. So this is showing total sales all segments, like it in all segments for umbrella product. This is total sales all country, right? Even if the country filter is applied in all countries combined for the umbrella product, this is the total sales value. Okay, this is the total sales value for all segments, and this is the actual sales value for Canada channel partners, right? This is the actual sales value. So this is how you can simply ignore them, right? And this is all function, and just along with all function, so removing filter from single column, we can also remove filter from entire table. Okay, this measure calculates the total sales amount ignoring any filter applied. Like it will ignore no matter what filter you apply. So for that you will write, how will we write? So let's copy this. So let's create a measure. So this is total sales, ignore all filters. And here we will just write the name of our table. Okay, financials, all financials. So what are we saying here? That ignore all filters in the financial table. So let's create the fourth one. So now this is like the fixed sales, right? Do you get my point? So total sales, ignore all filter. This is 118. No matter what you do, okay, like what filter you apply, what you do, it is always going to be 118 million. Do you get my point? See, and we can use it here also. Like it is always, it is showing the same value for all products. It is showing same for total. It is same. Like it is ignoring everything. So this is what when you select all financial. So you can call it what? You can call it fixed sales. In Tableau also there is something similar. I'm just giving you an example. Like in Tableau, there are level of detail calculations, okay, or LOD expressions. That we call them LOD expressions. And let's do a Google search. How many types of LOD expressions are there? There are three. I don't have to do that, but one is fixed, one is include, one is exclude. Okay. So one is fixed. That means no matter what you do, this one will always be fixed. One is include. It is going to include something like in, let's say in our context there is region, there is segment. So include them and tell the sales value, like include filters, etc. And then there is exclude. Like yes, we are showing the total sales value. We have selected product. We can show segment also here. So product wise, segment wise sales can be displayed, but we can exclude that. So that's what we are doing here. Like this is going to exclude segment. Okay. Even if here I add segment value here. Okay. So if I add segment, so you can see currently segment filter is applied here. If I remove this, and this is something that you all have to do today, like it's an important thing, and you can see. So here you can see for all segments, this value is same, right? No matter what you are doing, this value is same. This is total sales all country. Okay. So this is excluding country. This is total sales all segment. It is same. For government also same value. For small business also same value. Because it is not considering segment. Okay. This is sum of sales. This is considering and respecting both. Like it is for government it is different. For small business it is different. Okay. In country. So this is Pasio sales for all country in government sector. This is Pasio sales for small business in all country. But here for this is both because it is ignoring segment. So this is very important concept here that you have to understand. This way, even though your table is showing you a lot of different columns, like we can include country here also, right? Because we have applied country based filter. So let's apply country here also. Now see, let's reduce the value. So you can see USA, okay, total sales country, you can see the values here, okay. Government sector, you can see for PESIO, same value. So I will give you this table also, you can watch it carefully. And uh, and the case is currently a country filter may have been applied. So if we remove everything, now see, Canada, France, Germany, same value, all country, right? PASIO, ignore segment, total sales, all segment, for government, same value, for small business, same value. So it is ignoring everything. I know it may be confusing for the first time. It is confusing, but the way you have to remember it is, if we will apply a segment filter, okay, total sales all segment is going to ignore that, okay. If we are going to apply sorry if we are going to apply country as a filter, so total sales all segment is going to ignore that. If we apply this, then all country is going to ignore that, and this one will ignore everything because here we have selected remove everything. So this is very important, and I will provide you the link. Next, let's discuss all except also. But first of all, like, as an overview, is it clear to you? You may not be 100% clear, but as an overview, is it clear to you, like, what is the purpose of this? That I want to discuss. Like, please discuss. What are you understanding from this?
Sir, what I understand from this is you can apply a filter on a column, on a table,
Yes.
and if you need something that you want to show something, you don't want to change that value, you can do that. And if you want to show something that you want to exclude something, you can do that through
Yeah.
all function.
To all function. So the thing is, we are showing sales value here. Okay. Let's remove every filter. We are showing sales value here. It is showing for Pasio. Okay. Sum of sales is 39,000 or what is 39 lakh 56,000, right? For Pasio. This is clear. Now again it is for Canada only, right? So this is for Canada government segment sum of sales. Do you get my point? But if we want to compare it with total sales value, okay, if we want to compare it with total sales value, then someone wants that total sales value. So you can write that, na? The total sales value is this much, and out of this much, this is the contribution of Pasio in government sector in Canada country, right? Is it clear or not? Just look at this one. So this is going to tell you that for Pasio or for Amarilla, total sales value total sales value is this for channel partners in Canada. Okay, for Amarilla, for channel partners in France, it is this. But what is the total value? Like total sales value is this value. Out of this value, this is the contribution. But if we forget country, What is the total sales value? So it is going to be this, right? Like this is Amarilla sales value in all countries, and out of that you can compare, right? That it is 67,000. Like for all countries in channel partner segment, its sales value is 3,17,000, and out of that 3,17,000 in Canada it is 67,000. So you can compare it with all country sales. You can compare it with overall sales in for all products. So that's what the important thing is here. Like it is used for comparison, right? It is used for comparison. Let's say someone has scored 90 marks. I'm giving an example. But as compared to someone who has scored highest marks, what is this 90 marks equal to, right? And you may score 90 marks, then you may have class, you may have school, you may have board as filters, right? So in your school you may be a topper, but as compared to the entire state, what is your performance? As compared to your city or region, what is your performance? And as compared to your own school, what is your performance? So if you will ignore something, then only you will be able to show that, right? So that's why it is done, to ignore any particular thing. So here total sales all country is ignoring country. Total sales all segment is ignoring any segment. And total sales ignore all is ignoring everything and telling us that total sales value is this. Now compare out of that total sales value, what is the position of Amarilla in this country in this segment. So this is important, right? And you can try that. We can discuss it once more also. And then comes all except function. The all except function is to remove all filters from the table except for the one explicitly specified. Like this is useful when you want to keep. This is like include, na? Include something, right? So here what we write is, let's say we want to calculate percentage of total sales. So divide sum of sales amount by calculate sum of sales amount all sales. This measure calculate the percentage of total sales from the current filter contact compared to the total sales without any filter. Okay, and all except is something that I am going to discuss in another example. So because in case of all except, you have to write it like that. Like sales by region. Let's say we are considering sales by region. So calculate sum of sales amount all except sales region. So all function will ignore everything in sales, but now we are giving an exception for region. So let's copy this and compare it and you will understand. This is like include. Like we don't we are excluding everything but including region. So if I write it like this, sales by segment is equal to calculate sum of financials sales all except sales segment. What do you, what are you understanding from this? And let me write the all value also. I'm not I'm in no hurry here because this is important. So let's visualize this properly and try to understand the difference. Okay. Up to this part, this is same. Yes or no? We are calculating sum of sales. This must be clear to all of you, right?
Yes, sir.
We are simply calculating sum of sales, right? Sum of sales. All financials means what?
Total
Ignore
sales that
fixed sales, right? Fixed sales without any filter, right? No matter what filter you will apply, it is going to ignore everything. But all except financial segment means what? That it is going to ignore everything, but it is not going to ignore segment. So you may apply a country filter and it will be applied. You may apply, let's say, discount filter, discount band, or mode of payment, or anything. You can apply those, but you will not be able to apply segment. It is going to ignore segment filter. So it is going to tell you fixed sales, okay, and if segment is there, then it is going to consider that. Like it is going to show you segment wise. It is like include, okay. This is like fixed value, okay. And when we did this, like for example, we did calculate sum of financial say all segment. So this is like exclude. So this is all except this is all. Like it is excluding this. It is considering this. So this is the definition. This measure calculates sales by, let's say, segment while ignoring any filters on, category or other column, focusing solely on segment contributions. So this can be our sample data. Now today what are you going to do? You can copy this data. That's why I have given this as an example. And then you can create a simple table. Okay. You can create a simple table here. Or if you don't want to do this, just open Power BI. Like how can you practice all of this? So I'm going to give you this URL and you have some data from us. Okay. We copied the data. In Power BI, go to get data, enter data, sorry. Go to enter data, paste it. Okay. Load. Check if headers are properly read. So this is one way of doing that, right? And save your table as sales. Sales. And check if headers are properly there. So you can see headers are properly there. Now you have these formulas, right? Like total sales, calculate sum of sales amount, all sales. Okay. So one by one. So go to your measure, total sales. Just remove this one, okay? Because this is for Excel. Again, Excel we can write it like that. Here we can write it like this only. The total sales is calculate sum of sales amount, okay? All sales, like we are ignoring everything. So this is going to calculate total sales. Here create your table, and in your table it adds everything like amount, product, region, and total sales. And now tell me, total sales is same, na? Like it is for product A in East region it is 50, for product A in North region it is 100, but total sales is fixed, right? So that's what we have learned so far. Like this way you can practice, and we can go to our table. If you want, we can increase the value size so that we can test it further. Now similarly, if you want to see sales by region, so if someone asks you to calculate sales by region, this measure calculates total sales amount for each region, ignoring any filters on the product column. Okay. So for example, now we go to modeling tab, we create a new measure and we do that, select this. Let's add sales by region in the table and you will be surprised to see the results. So sales by region. Now see what? It is showing sales by region 150, 300, 450, 600 because here and here I have given the calculation. For north region, sales by region is 300. See, north region, sales by region is what? 100 plus 200, 300. For south region, what is this? 450. For east region, it is 150. For west region, it is 600. Is it clear or not what I am saying right now? Sales by region. What is the sales by region for north?
300.
300. Okay. For south, it is 450. I have given the calculation. So now let's see here. So it is showing sales by region 150, 300. Whenever north will come, 300. Whenever south will come, 450. See, south 450. So wherever south will come 450, wherever north, where east will come 150, and wherever west will come 600. Is it okay to understand now? Yes or no? Right? And similarly, if we do sales by product, okay, it will be your homework. Sales by product. What you will do? You will just write like this. So here you can see total sales like this, but here what we have done, all except region. Okay, that's what we have done. So this is all except region. And how can you do it for product? So just go to modeling tab, new measure, and you will do sales by product. Calculate sum of sale all except product. Okay, and we can do that, and let's include it, sales by product. So now let's do a simple calculation here. Product A पहला आ रहा 100, फिर आ रहा 150, 250, 300, 500, right? Product A is 500, product B is 200, 300, 500, 600, 1000. So you see 500, wherever you will get product A 500, wherever you will get product B 1000, where you will get east region. Now what are we actually getting from this? Can you tell? Like, is it helpful? Not helpful at all? Very much helpful to understand. What is your take on this?
Sure. Actually, in the sales by region, uh, the north is a 300, but how come how every time north is going to be 300?
Because we have fixed the value.
Okay, but totally north region is only 300. But here, whenever the north region comes,
See.
it will be 300.
Let me ask you a question. Okay. What is the sales value of product A in North region?
One
100, right?
100, yeah.
What is the total sales value of North region?
300.
300. What is the total sales value overall?
300.
Huh? Total sales value overall 1500, no? It is given, right? What is the sales value of product A overall? 500. Are you able to answer all those questions now? How? From the single table, right? On the single table, like if it is product A, sales by product is 500. If it is product B, sales by product is 1000. If it is a region north, 500. So this is not the actual sales. This is not the actual sales. This is not the actual sales. This is actually ignoring or excluding something. Do you get my point? Actual sales value is this, right? The actual final answer is this. But if I ask you in East region, what is the total sales value in East region? What will be your answer? In East region, huh?
1500.
Again asking, in East region, what is total sales value?
150.
150. So I'm understand my question. East region. So you will go sales by region. What is written in front of East? 150. Simple answer. So in East region, no matter how many products are sold, okay, no matter how many times they are sold, what is the sales by East region? So sales by East region is 150. If I ask you, do you get this? So this way, by writing this table, we will be able to answer a lot of questions in one view. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Right? So that is what we are doing. And and that is what it means. It will actually there are filters applied. So for example, if I add a slicer and I add product as a filter, okay, and if I just copy this and here I add region as a filter, that's why I have kept these simple tables for you guys, right? In most of the chapters you are going to find them. You will find these exercises and explanations. Okay, you can try the percentage of total sales also, that I'm going to show you. Now let's say I select A. So now see the picture. For product A, total sales is always going to be 1500. Sales by region West 600. Sales by product 500. Right? If I select East region, so this filter is actually going to filter our table and going to help us answer more easily. But actual sales amount of product A in East is 50. And can you say this is 150? So this is 33% of overall sales of East region. Can you say that? That sales of product A in East region is 33% of sales of product A in East region, right? Something like that. So here you have to just consider this, that here we are going to tell, or we will be able to tell a lot of questions or a lot of answers. Okay, so I'm saving this. I will give this to you. This is all and all except, and you can go through this, and this is very important. Okay, so we will continue with something more exciting, more useful in our next class. Till then, whatever questions you have, you can gather all your questions, and in tomorrow's class, we can discuss all of them.